Hello. I need to get footage of you for the YouTubes because the people love you and they want to see you. Yeah, you're so cute. So cute. Thank you for contributing to the video.
Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. It's week 12, so the last week of me doing the total diet replacement shakes as part of the NHS Path Remission Programme. Yeah, it's been exciting last couple of weeks. Apologies for not posting a video last Sunday. Again, life kind of got just a little bit busy and I forgot about things, and by the time I wanted to do anything, it was like a bit late. So I thought, oh, I'll just do another 2-week catch up. And I think going forward, for the next 6 weeks of phase 2, I will try my best to do weekly videos. Then I think after that, when we kind of move into phase 3, which is kind of like just like the maintenance phase, then I probably will go to just kind of like a fortnightly video. And then maybe even further on down the year, maybe it'll just be kind of like a monthly update. But I'll still do TikToks and shorts every Thursday, because I'll still be weighing myself every Thursday and doing my measurements. So that'll be a good way to kind of like just keep that up to date. So if you've been looking out for the main long form videos after the 6 weeks, I apologise. I'll probably be reducing them slightly, but there will be always kind of content going up weekly on the channel. So get that bit out of the way. So yeah, it's been a really good last couple of weeks. So I'll start off with saying like I've got them written down here because I do need a bit of a script this week. I do my measurements from last Thursday to this Thursday. So my weight, I don't know if you remember previously, so my weight actually went up by 800 grams because the previous week I lost like 3.2 kilos or something like that, and I felt it was a bit of an anomaly. And then quite rightly, last week I had gone up by 800 grams to 159.9 kilos. And then this week, suddenly another huge drop of like 3.1 kilos. I dropped down. I'm now 156.8. So yeah, still going along in that trend line. But I'll pop the little graph either in front of me or next to you. You can see I had this really nice trend line, and then suddenly boop, 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 these two like little drops in a little bit again. But it's all still going in a downward trend, so it's not too bad. So yeah, still really happy with that, and I expect there'll probably be another fluctuation again over the next couple of weeks as I kind of start eating again, because obviously my calories will go up by 200 calories a week, well for that week, but my overall deficit will still be quite large. So I should still technically lose weight, but because things are changing and the body is a little bit mysterious in some of the ways it does things, there could be a bit of a fluctuation. But I'm confident that it will all still go in the right direction. Blood glucose levels. Actually, no, before I go into glucose, so this means actually that I'm only at the moment 2.6 kilos off my next goal. So my previous goal was to lose 10% of my original body weight. And then, of course, once I reached that, I just moved the goalpost essentially and said, right, let's move to 15% of my original body weight, which was to get down to 154.2, I believe. I think I got it written up there. Yeah, 154.2, which is 15% of my original body weight lost. And then obviously once we reach that, we'll move the goalposts again to 20% of my original body weight lost, which will be 36.3 kilos altogether. So that would be 145.2 that we reached to. So again, a big step. It's still kind of like in a manageable way. So I think just by, instead of me going, oh, my goal is to lose or get down to 100 kilos or 80 kilos or something like that, I think by me saying, right, next goal, like next checkpoint is every goal moves by 5% until I get down to that. Right, I think that just makes it a lot more achievable, manageable in my head, and keeps the mindset alive because I'm able to do it. Like you hit those like checkpoints and little victories and have and stuff like that. So really, really good. So yeah, next goal I think I should reach in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Then we can move again onto the 20% goal marker, which will be good. Blood glucose levels. So the last couple of weeks they've been again in a downward trend. So I think I was 5.7 last week, was 5.6, and now I'm 5.3. So again, moving all in the right direction. And that's been backed up as well, because recently I had a follow-up blood test for my HbA1c. And that was the whole thing that started this referral process in the beginning. So about 3-4 months ago, well, to give full context again, you've probably heard this again, but I've heard this before, but I'll say it again. So the whole reason I went and got a blood test originally is because the end of last year, beginning of this year, I was feeling really lethargic. I was constantly napping. I just had no drive to do anything, and my mood wasn't all that great. And I just wanted to go to doctors and get a blood test, just to rule out anything like the worst case scenarios and stuff like that, and say, was it just something where I do need to just eat better and exercise more? I mean, technically it ended up being that way, but we'll get to that. And of course, so part of that blood test, everything pretty much came back normal except for my HbA1c, which was my blood glucose, and that was at 75. And it said on the little readout, said it's like should be less than 42. So 75 put me within the pre-diabetic range for type 2 diabetes, and that immediately the NHS and the GP services were great. I immediately had a call from a diabetic nurse saying, this is too high, we'd like to refer you to, she kind of gave me two options after confirming my details of I'm 6 foot, I weighed at the time 181 kilos, and I ate shit, basically. So I wasn't surprised that I was in the diabetic range for that. And then she gave me a couple of options. One option was, again, to say I could go on a calorie controlled diet with a coach, but I would have to go on medication. And then there was this other option, which is the one I'm on now, which was to do 3 months of shakes. It's like a year-long program, 3 months of shakes to aggressively get my blood glucose levels down, and kind of lose 10 to 15 kilos, or in my case 10 to 15% of my original body weight, and kind of then do food restriction through. And I said we'll go with that because I believe that's how my mind would better work, because I was given a set rules that I could follow. There wasn't any kind of room for adjustment in that kind of first 3-month period, so I thought go with that. Perfect. Cut to now, after doing those 3 months of just shakes, as you've seen, and my progress going through the last videos, had my follow-up HbA1c blood test, and the new number now is 37. So really happy with that. That just shows that trust in the process. Obviously everyone's journey is different, because I've seen other people in the community, again, say they've gone from in the hundreds down to 35, or someone else has gone from 60 down to 40, 48 or something like that. So everyone's different variations going through, but yeah, it's all the program's working. It's, I mean, not just from that alone, but seeing the results in my face. I look back at old videos in the beginning, and I kind of look at myself and I go, I don't know who that is. I really don't. The difference in the face alone, and also I can just tell in the demeanor of myself in the past is just different. So it's like I look at my past self and I'm I don't know that person, but it's in a good way, kind of thing. I appreciate who that person was and what they were going through and their lifestyle, and now I'm just here. So yeah, it's been really eye-opening in that kind of regards. So yeah, really happy with the blood glucose on that, and then hopefully, I believe if over these next, I think it'll be maybe another 3 months, or in 6 months when I have 2 of these HbA1 blood tests, if I can keep that number say in the low 40s or under 40, obviously because it may fluctuate as I start going back onto food. I think if I can keep that number low over the next couple of tests, then that will confirm that I'll be officially in remission for type 2 diabetes. So really happy and pleased and proud of myself for that. So, because I say it's been, for me personally, I would say it's not been hard, but it has been difficult in some stages, and there has always been the cravings and learning the difference between feeling full and feeling satiated, kind of thing. Learning how my body reacts to stuff, sometimes when my stomach's gurgling and stuff like that, that's not hunger or anything, it's just digesting or doing something. a lot of times where probably I was hungry, I could have just drunk something, and that would have, like, it was more thirst, and then actual hunger, things like that. So yeah, but I think kind of like with kind of like determination of just getting into the right mindset, because I think a lot of it is having the right mindset to do it and making the changes, and then seeing the benefits from those changes just continues that motivation. So yeah, so really happy with the progress that's been made and how I've done it. And again, I appreciate that for other people, it may have been a lot harder. Like my living situation perfectly suited this program, in the fact that because I'm living on my own, apart from Winnie, who's curled up in a little box next to me, I'll show you later on. I like, it's easy for me because I'm not cooking for anyone else. I'm not going to snack on Winnie's food or anything. So I was able just to do the shakes, whereas I can understand, like, say, someone who's like in a family who has to, like, say, prepare meals for other people as well as trying to keep on the first 3 months. I can imagine that being really difficult. Or even people with like different work lifestyles, if they're always out away on business and stuff like that, it can be difficult to manage the logistics of making sure that you have enough powder and shakes with you to do. So I feel like I was just kind of lucky in the sense of my lifestyle suited the program going forward, uh, and so I don't take it for granted that I had that position to do the reset really well, and now I'm going to continue that kind of motivation progress going forward when I do go back onto food, because like seeing the benefits from it, stuff like that. So yeah, like, don't always use what my obviously watch my journey to like get tits hints and tips. But don't take it as like gospel, like, oh yeah, it's really easy, because I know there's I think I have seen on the community that there's one person who's unfortunately had to drop out just because they've had a lot of issues and problems, either like health wise or to do with like personal life as well and stuff like that. So that can happen, and that's completely understandable, and I appreciate it. So yeah, next measurement, blood pressure. Again, it's in the all right range. Over the last couple of weeks, it's been like in the 120s over 60s. Last week was like 113 over 63, I think. And then this week it was 130 over 73, and like 73 is fine. 130, a little bit higher than I would wanted, but it's not drastic or like in dire situation or anything like that. So hopefully next week it will drop back down again. So yeah, so that's done quite well. Happy with all those results, and again, just happy, like, I can feel in myself that things have just become easier, like activity like walkings and the badminton's becoming easier. I've got myself a new badminton racket, so I'm recalibrating my brain for that. I think next up I'm gonna get myself some new kind of like sports shoes, because at the moment I've only got one pair of shoes really that I wear all the time, and they're like walking shoes. I should really probably get myself some nice kind of like boots, or like it's like some nice like regular boots and some nice like formal shoes, and then get myself some like sport shoes, trainers or something like that, so I can use for the badminton, and just have my walking shoes for walking, obviously. So that'll probably be the next thing I do. And then from next week as well, on the 17th on Wednesday, I'm going to start swimming with my mother, which will be great. I haven't swum in ages, and I love swimming. So, and I think in the past where I think the last time I did go swimming, so I do have trunks which fit. I think in fact they'll probably be a bit bigger now, so they'll fit really well. But in the past, I remember I think I wore a shirt over my body because I was so self-conscious with kind of like being in a public pool and swimming stuff like that. But this time I don't think I'll have that problem. I think I'm more so confident in myself now, and that I know personally, like, say someone can look at me and say, oh, fat, but I know, like, inside my journey and my process, like, I was fatter and I'm getting thinner, so it doesn't bother me anymore. People can think what they like. I know in myself what I'm doing, and I'm confident with that. So what other people think don't affect me anymore, which is a really freeing experience when you kind of get to that part. When you're confident in yourself and you know who you are, what other people think just bounces off you, and it's really freeing, a really freeing experience. So if anything, I'd say work on that self. Learn to be confident in yourself and know who you are, and love yourself for it as well. So I mean, I'm still working on the loving myself bit. I'm not quite 100% there, but I'm definitely confident in myself, and I know who I am. So we're getting there. it's going to be a long process, but we're getting there. And say if you can work on that in yourself, it's really, really beneficial, and it helps with everything else as well, which is really good. So yeah, so next week, move on to the food. So as explained before, it's a 6 week process. So week 1, so from this Tuesday to the next Tuesday, replacing the dinner shake with my Gillinase, which put the recipe up for on there. And I think so it's going to be a 400 calorie recipe. I don't want to put the recipe up. I'll put the nutritional values, and it's for 400 calories. I think it'll have like 11 grams of fat, 34 carbs, and a whopping 46. Is it 46? 42.5 grams of protein. And a lot of like health influencers that I see online, they say like a really good source of protein is when the number of calories, if you like divide by 10, and you get like the protein amount, is then it's like a great protein source. So if you have something that's 300 calories and it's 30 grams of protein, perfect, like great protein source. If you have something that's 300 calories and it's only like, I don't know, 5-10 grams of protein, then it's not that great, kind of thing. So like in my personal, for my goals, I'm looking forward to like get between like 120 to 150 grams of protein a day throughout the entire course of the day, as I start introducing food. And I think I'm on track with my recipes to do that as well. And also there's 9 grams of fiber in it as well. And I think the recommended daily amount is somewhere between like 30 to 40 grams of fiber. And I think I'm near that with the recipes. I may be just like in the very like low 30s range, but I'll see what we can do about increasing that. I think there's probably one meal that has a lot more fiber to make up for it, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's all going kind of really well. Trying to think, is there anything else? I can't remember what I've spoke about in the beginning of the video as well either. So, yeah, no, I can't think of anything else. I say I did kind of a script, but now I'm just gonna ramble going on through it and stuff like that. So, I mean, the main thing I need to kind of like chalk on is this. Like, I think one thing that's made it so easy to get to this point, or easier to get to this point, has been the support of like not just my family, but my friends and my colleagues at work as well. So I think if I remember mentioning a few weeks ago, in one of the educational modules, like one of the like barriers or stuff that can impact like succeeding on the program was kind of like the social barriers and like people not understanding or respecting your decision to do the program and stuff like that. But again, it's just a case of 1, luck, but 2, I've just kind of cultivated a really good kind of like social surrounding with myself, especially with my friends. Like I know all of my friends are all good eggs, and so I don't have any issue with that. And work has always been kind of like a nice kind of like good environment. There was a previous job where I was at where you can definitely tell when someone impacts on the kind of like the positivity or the good vibes of the work environment. And it was like when they left in that old job, it was night and day. Almost like within a couple of days after they left, the atmosphere and mood improved so much. So I always strive, if I can be like in a work environment, be a good kind of like vibe impact. I always try and like raise morale, whereas so like in my current job, I do play like little office pranks on people. I'm always there to help, and if anyone asks a question, I always try my best to answer it. Or if I don't know the answer, I always make sure I know who would know the answer, like my best guess of like, oh, it's a bit out of my scope, but I know if you speak to this person, they'd probably be able to help you or give you even more information, kind of thing like that. Those are kind of like the things I try and do. Yeah, when it comes to pranks and stuff, like it'll be little things like, say, on the bottom of the mouse, I'll put like a little sticky note or something on there that says "gotcha." So they'll like move their mouse around and go, "Why is it not working? The light's on. Why is it not moving?" And then they look at it and it's me. And then it's now known that it will be me in the office. Like immediately someone will turn around and go, "Fletch" or "Ian," and so like, teehee. So raise good spirits and stuff like that. So yeah, so the support from like, let's say, family, colleagues, and my friends has just been so has made this a lot easier. and like it makes me feel that I'm like accountable. Like I don't want to let these people down because they've supported me so much through it, and I'm doing so well. I can't stop now. People are invested. They want to see like what I'll end up like in like weight wise or like activity wise, what I'll be doing. And I say like at the end of this month, be doing the race for life as well, because a friend suggested like if you're being more active and you're going to be walking more, why not do the 5K race for life? You can walk it, so that's what we're going to do. And then I'll probably do other things like that in the future as well. I think anything that will kind of like increase my activity, and then I can also like raise a bit of money for charity or do some good, might as well. So yeah, all in all, really happy with the progress that's going on. So the next little videos will be the shorts that I post on Thursday. Oh, and that's not true actually. I will post a short on Tuesday when I take the first bite of my first meal. So I'll set up a little tripod with my phone on. I'll have the little bowl of my Chilenaise, and I'll take a bite, and we'll enjoy that together. And then obviously I'll do my measurements stuff on the Thursday after when I'll upload that, and then I'll do a catch up on Sunday of my week, most of the week of like now eating and how I feel about it and how it's been going. So yeah, so I will leave it there. If I've forgotten anything or need to add anything on, there'll suddenly be a cut, and then I'll be back with anything else I need to talk about. So yeah, again, thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it. I'm doing it for you guys as well as myself. I mean, more for myself, but I enjoy doing it for you guys as well. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and goodbye.